Holla ballers and a bro fist to you all, you bright, smiling, happy people. Good to see you, as always. It's the workshop, it's Wednesday, it's come back again. It just seems to appear every single week. And I want to tell you how idiotic my country is. It's bizarre, right? Yesterday it snowed here. Snowed. Not great snow, not snow that you could actually see on the floor, but it was snowing yesterday. Today it has increased in temperature to a whopping 7 degrees. People are cooking barbecues. These shorts, these flip-flops. It's like fucking summertime already. Oh my god, the sun's out. It's warm-ish. Barbecue time, baby. Get the beers out. Let's fucking party. Let's get it on. That's the UK, baby. We get so little sunshine and sunny days. They break out the barbecues as soon as the sun is shining. There's only 20 million clouds in the sky. Motherfucking barbecue weather, baby. Oh yeah. Even Ghost suggested we have a barbecue on Saturday. Gonna cook us up some good steaks. Workshop time. Today I'm going to workshop myself for a number of reasons. I was in fact monitoring the chat while I was getting ready as to why is he workshopping himself. This is weird. Good answers from a number of people and all are correct. All are correct. Let me give you an example. I'm going to workshop myself, one, because it is the best way to improve yourself. It is, easily, watching yourself back. It is in fact the first and only reason that I bought recording software. When I purchased my copy of Fraps, it was so I could film myself and improve myself. I was that kind of nerd. Of course I was. I wanted to be better at the game. I wanted to see where my mistakes were, why were certain things happening to me, what really went on there, what caused us to wipe. As a raid leader, I found it invaluable to not only watch what I was doing, but what was the rest of the raid doing when certain things happened? What caused our wipe? So I started recording myself and improved vastly. Now, another reason is I cannot workshop everybody. Of course not, for a number of reasons. One, I would probably have to do a workshop every single day and then content dries up and it's not regular. You know, that kind of thing. Once a week is a good time. I do another workshop if we get a spurt of workshops in, but right now we get a steady flow of about 5 or 6 a week, which is awesome, right? And a couple of them just require an email. On top of that, some people just don't want to send in a workshop. And I know why, and that's perfectly fine. It's because their guildies might watch the show. A lot of people watch my show from various degrees of WoW, from the very top to the very bottom. Awesome, that's how it should be. Some people don't want to see themselves on a workshop and their guildies watch the show too. And I'm like, oh, you're doing that wrong. Oh, you're doing that wrong. Oh my god, you're such a retard for this moment, like I do. And then maybe get kicked from their guild or something horrible might happen, right? Their guild master's like, what the fuck? You actually play like this? Oh my god. I was actually debating doing boss guides for you guys. And I spoke to a few people in various guilds and said, would you record for me? Because I wanted different points of view. I wanted like melees, I wanted some casters, I wanted some ranged, I wanted some tanks, I wanted some healers. I wanted all kinds of various different aspects of the same fight so I could show people in a boss guide how they do things. And every one of them replied like, you might not like how I play. You might not like it. I was like, well, I assume you don't click or anything, right? And they're like, no, I don't click or anything, but you might find something horrific that goes on in my play and you might not like it and you might mock me for it. I'm like, no, nothing like that. People get a little bit scared about being seen by other people, and that's awesome as well. So I totally understand. I really do. I genuinely do. So I'm going to workshop myself today. I make mistakes. Of course I do. I make mistakes, but only by accepting that. A lot of people don't accept that they make mistakes, right? They're like, I don't make mistakes. I am Mr. Perfect. Every time I log into WoW, it is quite literally like God has put on the golden condom and I'm about to bum rate the entire game. I am that fucking good. I am so fucking amazing. It's a disgrace that I don't just carry all the world first on my own. It's really ridiculous. If you gave me 25 accounts, I could just play them all simultaneously and we would just win all the time. We would win all the time, and that would be pretty normal, right? Because that's how fucking good I am. Some people just don't accept they make mistakes, but of course, we all make mistakes. If not, every single boss in WoW would just fall over on like the second pull. One, to find out what it does. Second one is a kill. Of course, that doesn't happen. And when you understand mechanics, it's only player error that ever causes wipes. Something raid leaders have a hard time dealing with is it's not normally mechanics. Once you raid understands how the fight works, it's player error every single time. Your players have made an error somewhere that's caused you to wipe. So, I'm going to be workshopping myself. Now, I tried to play kind of normally. I didn't try and do anything intentional, so I'm not going to try and defend myself. Any mistakes I make are purely me being a fucking retard, okay? It's fine, it's no problem. It's all part of the game. That's how we learn and how we play. Some fights I actually played really well. Not to be egotistical and not worth showing, so I'm not going to do that. There wasn't much I thought I could have done differently, and it was ultimately it does come to the stage where it's pretty much gear that's stopping you doing any more DPS, which is fine. But a couple of them I made like retarded errors, retarded errors. So we're going to talk about retarded errors, right? I'm going to kick us off on Tortos. Tortos, not a difficult fight. When workshopping oneself, it's very easy to go, it's only LFR, it's only this, it's only that. We don't care about that. We don't care if it's heroic, normal, or LFR. It's completely irrelevant. The fight itself is about testing different styles of playing your character. On Tortos, we have a lot of AoE, some multi-dotting, we have things we need to avoid. Positioning is a great element of Tortos. Your positioning is really, really important. So that's what we're going to use this fight for. That's what you guys should be using LFR for. Not for gear. It's not about, oh, what shiny purples can I get this week? It's how you can adapt your character in different situations. This fight has a lot of different elements going on. None of them difficult. That's not the point. It's how you can do the best in it. Okay. 1 brownie point for whoever can spot the most retarded error I made in this fight. Okay? I'm not going to mention it. But I've done something ridiculous in this fight. Absolutely fucking retarded. I didn't notice until I watched the video back. Little task for you guys. I'm going to be on the Shadow Priest today. Of course, I'm going to be on my Shadow Priest. Still very much enjoying it. But I'm also enjoying the Brewmaster. So I might be playing some Brewmaster for a while. And I'm kind of enjoying Rogues right now as well. Although I've kind of got to do some Paladin stuff. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. No mains of yet for all you guys like guessing mains. But it's not really about the Shadow Priest either. It's how I'm controlling the character and using the abilities of that character. So this affects everybody. Affects everybody, okay? So it's down to all of you to do that. New main, Lakarosa says, new main. It's a new main? Not quite yet. Boom! In we go. Okay, if you're in... Hey, by the way, dudes, if you're in LFR and you're the tank and you do this, I fucking love you. You're already better than Stark Industries. Where's that Vanish guy and that Rastigan? Oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah, no Omen. Should we analyze the UI? Yeah, it's pretty cool. A couple of UI things, actually, on one of the fights, because I just... the last time I did any raid in World of Warcraft was when I recorded the Mistweaver stuff. I still have the healing thing on, which I put on for healing videos for a bit of added flair during the video. Nothing more. I don't have that on normally. True fact. A lot of people love my UI. My actual raiding UI does not contain any damage numbers or MSBT or anything like that. It's purely a distraction. I have that on for you guys. Oh my god, Romaz has got it. I didn't have Inner Fire on. I had 10% less spell power for this entire fight. Still kicked ass though, but yeah, I had no Inner Fire on. Max retard. Max retard. I had no Inner Fire on. Oh, where is it? Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, cookie for you, Ramaz. You taking names, my friend. You taking names. Now, before we get into this, I'm just going to keep switching the camera back and forward because I'm really annoying like that. What constitutes an error? It depends on your level of play. Okay, it really does. Some things that I find absolutely disgraceful. Some people are like, I wish that was my only problem, okay? That's alright, that's normal, that's whatever level of play you're at, that's fine. It's really fine to be like that. I consider some errors that I make here, like, disastrously fucking terrible, and I need to work on it right now. And then some players will be like, if that was my only problem, I would be like, completely fine, I have no issue with that whatsoever. And it's all about what level of play you're at, okay? Again, it doesn't matter that it's LFR, it can be anything, it's not how we deal with it, it's how we cope with what gets thrown at us. Alright, so we're going to go in. Now, for me, I always tell you about how important the pull is. Now, the pull timer is delish, absolutely delish. Now, I make a decision here based on the fact that this is an unusual situation for anybody who's doing any progress raiding, is to have 3 orbs, shadow orbs, and that affects my pull, because I have a Devouring Plague. Devouring Plague, of course, my most powerful ability as a Shadow Priest. And I make a decision here, do I open with that Devouring Plague and then Mind Blast, or do I Mind Blast, waste an orb, and then go into my pull? I decided to go ahead and do this Mind Blast. Now, this pulls me off with a kind of retarded. You can see as the tank pulls, my Mind Blast lands, and then we're good to go. It kind of leads me with this retarded situation that will come up now. I'm trying to get everything off, so we start the cooldowns. You can see the halos. Mine's slightly earlier. And then I fire off the Shadow Fiend. Now, the Shadow Fiend, again, this is the problem with LFR, right? You don't know when shit happens. Bloodlust especially. When are you going to Bloodlust? Some dickhead is probably going to Bloodlust at about 17 seconds like a fucking complete retard penis, okay? Like that big floppy cock that you don't want. You've got a model on your bed. Can't get it up. That guy who's bloodlusting all over the place and suddenly blows his load. Or they're going to Bloodlust immediately, in which case I just instinctively fire off the Shadow Fiend in hopes that someone will do that. Or they're going to fire it off at lower percentages. It can happen any fucking time of the fight. But I want my pet to be bloodlusted, so I kind of go into LFR under the assumption that we're going to go ahead and bloodlust early. If not, whatever, it's going to happen at some point. I don't know when it is. So I fire off my Shadow Fiend, and we get the dots up. There goes the Devouring Plague, and then I've got the Mind Flame Sanity. Now, this is what the problem is. That pull and that Mind Blast and firing off those extra spells has caused this situation. Now, for me, this is nail-biting. As I said, it depends on what your big problems are, and depending on what level of play you're at. But this is actually a major problem. My Mind Blast is on cooldown, but I also have my Mind Flame Sanity up when I've got buffs up. I've got Power Infusion, I've got Lightweave, I've got Windsong, I've got both Trinkets procced. I'm doing serious fucking damage here, okay? Crazy serious damage. I've got about a 200k DPS burst. 200k DPS burst at the beginning of the fight. And it's really fucking retarded to have this Mind Blast sitting here because I'm missing an orb, but do I give up on my really super boosted Mind Flame Sanity? The correct decision was probably reorder my pull so this doesn't happen. But this is my first major fuck up. Again, I'll do different fuck ups later on, but for me, this is a really annoying situation. So I'm going to let my sanity wear off and do that. But I've delayed already. Why is this a problem, Preacher? What are you talking about? It was like a second or two, it was delayed. That second or two is going to mount up throughout the fight. I've lost potentially 2 Devouring Plagues already because there's going to be moments when it's delayed later. That's what fucks me up because you have to appreciate how many of these little fucking things roll through all the hell of the fight. Alright? They just roll and roll and roll on, and it's a real fucking pain in the ass. So off we go. Now, I'm going to show you one of my biggest burdens as a player. Okay? This is one of my biggest burdens as a player. It's something that I've been very much guilty of fucking myself up. Okay? Guilty of fucking myself up a couple of times. And that is, I trust Blizzard's graphics. Shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do that, right? You shouldn't do that. You really should not do that. Never trust Blizzard's graphics. I've always had a hard time not trusting Blizzard's graphics. I don't know why. It's just instinctive to me to move as little as humanly possible. If I have to fucking move, I want to move as little as humanly possible, especially as a priest. There isn't much I can do as a priest to move. I trust in Blizzard's graphics. Now, on Tartarus, it's not that bad. But there's another fight I'm going to show you later where it regularly fucks me over because I'm pretty good at moving out stuff, right? Always have been. I'm pretty good at it. I'm used to looking at my environment. You can see I won't get hit by much that isn't like almost unavoidable throughout most of these fights. But I trust Blizzard's graphics too much. So I actually did this okay. I moved. Look where I move. I'm like 1 yard away from the impact zone. I'm right there. I'm right in here. I am literally as close as humanly possible to not getting hit there, right? So I think I'm fine. On some fights, like you can see, this does nothing to me. There's the impact. It does nothing to me. On some fights, I'm going to go flying because the graphics just not correct, and that really drives me crazy. It's something you should bear in mind, and it's only after I've done the fight a couple of times will I actually pick up on this. So I get stunned. Now, there's my big problem. This is, again, a major fuck-up. And you guys should be aware of this. One of the big rules about being a DPSer is you should always be casting something if you can. These turtle shells obviously knock you in the air. For the most part, it's about position and trying to make sure they don't hit you. But sometimes they do. If you've done this fight, normal, heroic, whatever, they hit you sometimes. It happens. There's nothing you can do about it. But that doesn't mean you stop DPSing. I do. I'm really rubbish right now. One of the aspects I've lost from not raiding on a regular basis is how quickly I can auto-target something. A second and a half used to be a breeze for me to retarget, do something, and target back again. While I'm in the air, what I want to be doing is selecting a new mob, dotting it, and then landing back on the mob I was already DPSing with. That's what I want to be doing. It's not until a couple of tries in that I actually do that. And that for me is a major fuck up. I want a note of that. I get my notepad out. I was like, I'm really fucking this up when I get knocked in the air because there's a spell I could be casting there. There's something I can be doing there to increase my damage. And that's where I goof up. So I just kind of go up, I land, and then I continue to dot. Exactly. I am 100% comfortable right here. I am 100% comfortable. I swear to God, I am not going anywhere. You know why? Because that line is so ever so slightly away from my left foot. So ever so... I see this, I am golden. I'm not going a goddamn... I'm not moving. I'm not going anywhere. You can see I'm just going to stand completely still because I trust you, Blizz. And Tortos gives me that good stuff. Get away from there. Now, obviously, lol, bad Halo, right? You don't see Preacher casting Halo like that. Oh, no. Never. The bats are coming, right? So it's all about planning how we do things in the fight. And I know that there's going to be bats coming and there's going to be turtle shells up and all that kind of stuff. I want to be rocking a fucking big-ass Halo. I don't want to be wasting my Halo like this guy. Lol. What I want to do is plan for these bats that are coming in now. So I find a position where they're going to be pretty far away. And what you'll see is, I do this every single time, and I was pretty happy with this, is I fade. You can see the fade up here. There's a big issue with the Shadow Priest where you fade and Halo and all kinds of big bad things happen. Big majorly bad things happen. So it's really nice to get a fade in there just before we drop a Halo, especially on fresh mobs. And we do crazy amounts of damage, and that's all good. It's all good to do crazy amounts of damage like that. And this actually led me to an interesting situation for me, and it was at 247. Come to me, 247. Everything goes pretty swimmingly till then. I start getting a little bit cheeky. Always good to try things out. Always good. I start thinking, these bats are up for a really long time. This is kind of the thought process that's going on in my head at the time. So I'm going to try getting 2 Halos off while the bats are up, because that's swimming damage, right? That's swimming damage. I love that. And in doing so, I completely fuck myself over. But it's always worth trying these things out at least once, and then you know the answer. Then you know the answer. So here we go. In a few seconds. Yeah. I see the Halo there, and I fire it off there just as Summon Bats has been cast. Okay, it's just been cast. I fire it off there in a nice central position, and it just clips them there. Boom! I get some good damage out of it. So it did make contact. It did make contact. Everything was fine. Now I'm hoping, and getting a good position, that I can in fact fire off a second Halo. It doesn't work. But this is what you guys should be doing. That's why I want to show it you. You should be thinking about this. Hey, can I do this? Because sometimes you'll be like going back and trying it next week or the week after. Try it now while you're in the fight. Oh, it doesn't work. At worst, it's cost you maybe a little bit of damage because my Halo probably missed a couple of them. That's it. But try these things out. Really important to work how your class. Remember, this is all I'm showing you is how does my class work? How does the fight work? How can I mix those two together to be an awesome super gangster? If I could do 2 Halos on a big AoE pack, that's obviously better. Let's try that out. That's all I'm doing here is figuring stuff out, figuring it out, and how to make it better. So here we go. Here we go. We go into some standard AoE, pretty good. And we go to here, I get knocked up again. Oh, and didn't cast a damn thing. Fucking scrub. Absolutely terrible. Now, this is where it gets super stupid for me. This is where it gets super, super bad. Notice my position. Notice my position all the time. As little as possible. And trying to be away from anybody else. So you can see I learned now. So I'm waiting for the bats to land before I Halo. I'm actually delaying it to make sure I get a good Halo off. There you go. That was just after trying it in the fight. I know the answer to the question. Now look. Take in that fail. Drink it in. Drink it in from the awesome preacher. Come on. Drink it in. Come on, guys. Who sees it? Who sees it? Someone's got to spot it. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Yeah. I'm not mind-searing Tortos. I'm not mind-searing Tortos. I'm mind-searing the wrong tank. I'm mind-searing the tank where there's nothing to AoE. I'm mind-searing the wrong tank. Super fail. Massive fail. Like, disastrously so. For me, this is like, I should hit myself in the nose for doing this. This is kind of an LFR problem. If I was raiding on a Shadow Priest, let's say I was in a raiding guild, I would have 2 Mindseers. I would have the Mindseer macros for each tank, pretty much, who's regularly in the raid. And I would know who was doing what. In LFR, not that easy. I'm kind of going to select those targets one by one. And I fucked this up quite majorly, which is still super retarded. There is a solution to it, and that's what I would put in my notes. Oh, I kind of need 2 Mindseers, so this is no longer a problem. It's just that I know who's tanking them, and that's his mindset macro, and that's him, and then I don't even have to think about it. It's no big deal at all. But in LFR, I'm just like, oh, I'll just target the tank who was doing it before. It doesn't really work. Mike's a massive retard. Uninstall game. I actually let it cast for quite a while because I'm super fucking awesome. There we go. During that time, I'm actually just looking who is the other tank, so I have no idea. It's LFR. Sometimes these aggro warnings aren't really the best to work out who's doing what. Like a massive scrubber. Kind of terrible. Kind of absolutely the worst fucking play in this whole... besides the Inner Fire, that is the worst thing I did here, and it's kind of major. I think I'd do it again. Because I'm not fucking good. I'm going to let it play. I'm pretty sure I do it again. Things get a little bit crazy now. I'm trying to avoid any damage. And also, this is why you don't discount LFR. Some people will be thinking to themselves, why are you moving out with the falling rocks? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There we go. Finally casting while in the air. Thank God. Finally casting while in the air. And yeah, did it again. Did it again. Did it again. Motherfucker. Did it again. Now it's the other tank that's over here. And goofed it up entirely and then ended up switching again. But I noticed, that's the important thing to take away from this, is I noticed it straight away. I totally noticed it and fixed it as soon as humanly possible. And that's fine. Now I'm going to show you one other bad habit that I have in general. It's a bad habit that I've picked up from probably being a tank and being a raid leader. It's very difficult. I can't express to you enough. I talked about this enough. As you switch from a raid leader or a tank or a healer who isn't interested in DPS meters. They're not. Maybe now a little bit more so, but in general we're just not that interested. We pick up habits, raid leaders especially, if you go from a non-raid leader role, that make us kind of better players. But in the overall grand scheme of the way DPS is, kind of fucks us over, and this is what happens to me here. The big issue we've got here is Tortos is about to die. Now, common sense tells you, as I'm AoEing my balls off, common sense and raid leadership dictate you would do what I do here. Okay? Common sense tells you to do what I'm doing here, which is, in fact, I switch to Tortos. I switch to Tortos and go for the kill. That's what I do. That's my instinct. It's my habit. It's my old raid leader thing. I don't care about padding meters. I want to kill the boss. What you'll notice is everyone else just continues to AoE because it's LFR. Who gives a shit, right? And they just continue to AoE the fuck out of it. In fact, it'll go from like this kind of scale. People who nuke the fucking ads constantly don't give a shit about the boss. Lower end guilds. Mid-level guilds who are trying really hard and will nuke all the boss. Better players. Really top-end players who will just ignore everything and just AoE the motherfucking thing down, right? That's what happens. You go from mindlessly AoEing because you don't know any better to really trying because, you know, your guild's not the best, that's fine, and you're struggling so you need to nuke the boss, to top-end players where the boss is going to die anyway, don't give a shit, YOLO swag, padding meters like a motherfucker, doing it all day, every day, 2013. And that's what happens. You have this weird fucking graph like this of people who behave that way for completely different reasons. Completely different reasons. They just don't know any better, really need to kill this boss, don't give a shit. And that's kind of how it goes. Now, this habit has cost me a number of DPS chats on a few times. In fact, as I go straight for fucking Tortos like this, I think I was in third with 140k DPS. 140k DPS, 474 item level. No Inner Fire. Swag. And it drops me down quite considerably on the DPS meters because I switched this and everyone else AoE'd. Yeah, I dropped down to 4th there, which wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. So I've introduced you, nice introductory fight there, a few of my bad habits, which I know about and I work on. These are the things that I work on in quiet. But again, you might go, not really a major deal, preacher. Not really a major deal. They are to me, because these are the differences between world number 1 and maybe world 40th and world 50th. These are the things that really matter. These are the things that you need to be watching for. And again, it's all about different things. Major fuck up, which is newbie, fail, no Inner Fire, lost 10% spell power like a scrub. To little things, like I'm being thrown in the air, unavoidable. I should be doing something still. I still need to be casting, I still need to be a hero. I did film Megara, but I kind of played Megara pretty fine. I wasn't actually a big issue with Megara. But what I did want to point out is this. This makes me laugh every time I see it. Just look at all this. Look at that, even penance, motherfucker. Get penanced. Get penanced. Get fucking penanced, son. Love it. Take it. Take it like a motherfucker. Take it, baby. Oh yeah, drink it in. And I'm gonna watch this because it really makes me laugh. Hysterical. It's kind of like, to me, I find this really. Look at that penance. Not even giving a shit. Boss just got pulled. Fucking take it. Take it in the fucking ass, you frozen worm. Look at all this swag going in here. Love this hunter. This guy, fucking straight up, man. This glaive toss in a minute is fucking so swobu. It's unbelievable. Take it, man. Right in the ass. He fucking wants it. He needs it. Boom. 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 Bros, seriously. If you notice that you're DPS something and there is no one else near it, like not a single fucking melee, you're probably DPSing the wrong target. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Kind of an interesting fight for me, actually. I was out DPS considerably. I might add, I was out DPS considerably by pretty much everybody. I was 4th at the pull. Okay, I've got to ask the question. Warriors. Right, these 4 warriors. Oh, okay, I'm kind of beating him. There's a hunter. Me again. Anyway, I'm pretty sure there's 4 warriors who are 1, 2, 3, 4 by the end of the fight. What are they doing? What are them doing? All the winners of this fight on the DPS are 4 warriors in the 1, 2, 3, 4 spot. Why? Yeah, Yorick said they were all sweeping striking. It was retarded. Like 45% of their damage or something was sweeping strikes. It was fucking retarded, like just cleaving the shit out of place. It's one of those fights where that's going to go on. It's kind of LFR, right? We don't give a shit. I was also out DPS by a Shadow Priest, although overgeared me was nowhere near on Tortos, the guy who's haloing pre-bats kind of thing. Multi-dotting everything. And this is, again, some argue that is like the way to do it. That is the way to do it in LFR. Maybe so. But I don't play that way, and it kind of annoys me to see that. But it's never nice to be bottom of the DPS because you played the fight correctly. I guess that's my kind of issue. The biggest cheese I'm doing is Halo, which I can't actually stop hitting the boss. Love this hunter. Oh, so much swag. Yeah, glaive toss. Boom. Fuck your couch. Fuck. I would loved it if this hunter switched this one for kill shots. That would have been fucking dreamy. That would have been absolutely dreamy. Which is pretty fucking cool. No, he wasn't using that talent. He was the same as me, actually. He was the same as me. He had the same spec as me, I think. Which was okay. It was fine. It was fine. I have no big deal at all. So I'm going to move us over now to a big multi-dying fight, because I know a lot of you play Affliction Warlocks and all that kind of good jazz. And so I'm going to do Council... the Troll Council. Yeah, Troll Council. Okay, good. There. Multi-dying fights are, depending on how your guild handles them, can either be really easy or really bad. LFR is generally a fucking nightmare for multi-dotters on this fight, unless it's particularly easy, which it isn't really, because the fight is never controlled in any way. This is a good thing for you to practice, okay? You might look at it as, this is really, really annoying. This is really, really annoying, because everything's all over the place. The tanks are moving adds left and right. Things are swapping around. They're all over the fucking place. That kind of thing. But it's actually great for you to practice things like multi-dotting and keeping track of ads that are all over the place. I did a multi-dotting guide, which is where you have like a... let's see, what's the word? What is the word? A control. You have a control mob. That's your control mob, okay? You pick this mob, and that's what you base every other dots on. You've dotted this one first, and then you went in a sequence after that. But that's your control, and it's usually the one that's going to die first, okay? So let's say we're going to kill Sul the Sandcrawler, which is generally the one that's killed first in LFR, if I remember correctly, is your control. You dot him up first. You're generally going to do your main single target nukes on that guy, and you're going to dot in a sort of order after that, and try and keep that order in your head. So you can go like Sul, Marley, Electric Guy, other one. Right? Something easy like that. And those are your kind of orders. But in LFR, they all get switched up. Kind of like the, you know, the Cups game on the table where you've got to get the ball and all that kind of and you get swindled by some guy on the street. So it's all like that. They're all swapping all over the place. As a Shadow Priest, you want, under any dot class, in fact, you want to keep those dots up 100% of the time. Now, it becomes really hard when they're swapping around, especially when things start getting iffy and you get things like extra Mind Blast. You might have had some proc or something, which then throws off your order. And you get stuck in this idea of multi-dotting. I have to multi-dot, I have to multi-dot. In doing so, we forget the basics. What are the basics of our Shadow Priest class? To generate as many Shadow Orbs as possible, and then that's it. That's our basics. Nothing more, nothing less. But we're so determined to be the multi-dotting master that we forget that. And we're going to see a bit of that going on here today. Because I do the same thing. I do the same thing. So forever alone or what? Position, 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 position. What's the right position right now? Here. What's the wrong position? Everybody else. I know sometimes I tell you guys, if you're stood on your own and everybody else is miles away, then maybe you're in the wrong place. Not all the time. Really, not all the time. Really is not the case. Forever alone, me, everybody else. There you go. That's 24 gangsters who, as far as I'm concerned, are stood in the wrong place. I am pretty much in the right place. And I'm confident. I'm not going anywhere, man. Fuck you guys. Boom. So we're off. Didn't expect the pull. Notice that. Didn't expect the pull. It's fine. C'est la fin. It happens. So off we go. I get in, get the Mind Blast, get my first orbs going. I start throwing around the Shadow Word Pains. And then I throw off the Power Infusion to get some big dots up. And I'm doing pretty well at the start. I'm not actually too bothered. Now, this is one of those fights where Blizzard fucks you on graphics. The graphics really fuck you. As you can see, what's going to happen is you can see the electric guy. Now, some of you are going to go, how do you even notice this? It's fine. It comes with practice, time, all that kind of good shit. I see things on the environment. I've always been pretty good at it. Just accept that, okay? And you guys will get better at it. But it's not the most obvious graphic in the world, by any means. But I see this. I see this pretty quickly, and you'll see I'll jump out the way. I give myself a couple of seconds, jump to safety, and I'm fine. Don't get knocked in the air. That kind of thing. Okay? That kind of thing. I've always been pretty good with that. You guys will get better at it, but it's no problem. So I'm okay. I'm multi-dying. And I'm sitting on... This is where I start really fucking up. I'm sitting on a Mind Blast. I sat on it for 2 or 3 seconds there. That's a major fuck up, because now I'm forgetting my basics straight away. I'm forgetting my basics. Notice my position. Again, this is all considered. Is where am I standing in this fight? I know I don't have to worry about really dying on this fight by any means. And you can see, again, the graphic. I'm safe. I'm not moving. Kind of my habit not to do that. If I don't have to move, I'm not going to. Comes with a lot of DPS practice, is how fine can you cut things. And you'll see that overall I start really delaying stupid things like Mind Blast. And that's really bad because I'm forgetting my basics. And there we go, delayed by a couple of seconds again, just to put a shitty Vampiric Touch up, which is never cool. Switching over to the right target, the going dude, put some dots on that guy. Dot, 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 dot. You see, DPS is actually fine. Well, what we're going to see later in the fight is I get rooted there. Just kind of Swobu suck. No good. Get the Mind Blast going. Talents are very important. World of Warcraft works similar to Diablo 3 now, right? Talents are really important. And you need to change them on fight to fight. On this fight, I chose Power Infusion, Solace, and Insanity. Complete waste of time in the Solace and Insanity. It's terrible. I never took advantage of it until there was 1 ad left. It was really bad. And in the future, I know that. Changing talents on a fight-to-fight basis is something that is part of the game now, and you need to build that in. A lot of people come to me looking in a Cataclysm or even TBC, Wrath of the Lich King vanilla style of play, which is like, hey, what's the best talent spec for my class? Okay, what are the best talents for my class? And in general, like with the Shadow Priest right now, it's Solace, Insanity, and Power Infusion. There's only a few cases where that's not the best. In fact, even on some multi-target fights, it's still the best. But if we have to move and different other factors come in, and generally from your play, you'll start realizing, nah, it's not actually that cool. It's not actually that cool. And this is one of those fights. So you need to be aware of why your talents are different in all different situations. All different situations. I'm trying to go to the point. I'm going to let it play. Just to give you an idea of the... You can see my process here with multi-dying. I'm still delaying Mind Blasts on regular basis, which is just terrible. You can see what I've done here is I actually put Khazra Jin, which would be my last one. This would be my last dot target, is Khazra Jin. He's the electric guy who's generally going to be out of range sometimes, depending on where people in LFR stand, and tracking the dots over here on him so I can see what's going on. He's generally my last one. The rest of them remain reasonably stationary besides him, so I can keep a good tab on those. And I know that I'm tracking Khazra Jin here, so that's just a little thing that's going on there. Is I'm tracking him via that process. And we're still going on with the dots, so I'm going to skip ahead to when we get down to about here, actually. I think it's about here. Again, stood on my own with the Frostbite, keeping it cool, keeping it very kosher. Again, sitting on this Mind Blast for extended periods of time. This is the biggest fault I had in this whole fight. Not a major fault, some of you might say. You delayed it by 1 or 2 seconds. I probably missed out on about 5 or 6, maybe even 7 devouring plagues here, which is terrible. And these are the kind of things you should be looking for. Now, this is where I fuck myself. Okay? This is where I fuck myself. I am pretty confident. If this was Tortos, I'm completely safe right now. Absolutely safe. Not so. Here it comes and knocks me in the air. Now, you go in, that's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It is. It's a fucking major deal. It really annoys me. Because I stood away from that. I was safe. I considered myself to be safe. I was happy. Wasn't safe. Wasn't safe at all. Was not safe whatsoever, and that goosed me up. See, that's pretty clear. I get out of there, and then I learned from my mistake and went a little bit of the extra out of the way to make sure I was going to be safe. But other than that, played it pretty good. Big issue there is I got so focused on multi-dotting, and you guys do this too. You send me lots of things where you're playing dot classes, and that's all you think about. The Balance Druid we looked at last week, same thing. My dots are so fucking important that I forget everything else that's going on. Literally. And I forget my basics. Even I do it. Maybe not as much, right? I'm talking 1 or 2 seconds on occasion. But on those times, it's a big goof up. It's a really big goof up, and I shouldn't be doing it. And that's going to cost me DPS long term. And that's going to cost me over the range of the fight. And that's what you guys need to think. It's like, it's not okay. It's not. For me, it's not okay. It's not fine. This is a mistake. I need to fix this. I need to change my talents, and I need to fix this. Simple as. No big deal. But it's all pretty cool, And of course, we get the kill. I think I got some loot. Let's see if we can skip on to the end. I think I came off kind of lowish, actually. I think, about 110k DPS. Wasn't particularly happy with 110k DPS on this fight. I think the character is 474 geared. I think he's 474. Not terrible, but not great by any means. Certainly there's a lot of people in here a lot higher than me, but that's hardly the point. We don't care about other people. We care about ourselves. Boom, going into the Mind Blast. Let's see, I just want to see if I can't remember if I did. Maybe I need to gem something. Oh, down to, now I finally get to use my talents. And it's okay. And it's all good. But again, I've got a lot to learn on this fight. Notice what I said there? No, I didn't win shit. Oh, did I? Go on, roll it, baby. Gold, of course. Notice what I said there. I have a lot to learn about this fight. That's a lot to learn about this fight. Oh, 494. 494, okay. Not 474, 494. I have a lot to learn about this fight. I'm okay with the class. I'm pretty okay with it. But I have a lot to learn about this fight. Especially on a normal heroic version, which is completely different to what I do in Alpha. But as it is right now, I have a lot to learn about the fight. Not really with the class. Okay, I know I should change the talent. No big deal. That kind of thing. I'm fine with that. But I have a lot to learn about this fight. A lot to learn about this fight. And I really need to work on that. And that's what you should be taking away. 3 elements. Character, fight, both together. I'm struggling on number 2 at the moment. It's the second time I think I've ever done that fight. But still, no excuse. I should know better looking back on it. Looking back on it, I should be fixing that. I don't want to do that. Right. Let's just go on to the worst fight that I did, where I made a major problem with position. You guys can answer me a question on this. Okay, so the pole's pretty normal. No big deal at all. Saving everything. You notice I'm not even on the damage meter now. We've got Wasalis, I would guess, is blowing every cooldown under the sun. Mr. Paladin doing 200k at the pole. Rookie. Love it. Now there's the Thundering Throw. Now I'm watching all around the map for where this guy's going to land. It's boom, it's there. Instantly move. Instantly move and get ready. Sitting under Devouring Plague, ready to go. No big deal at all. All good. And off we go. And then we'll blow all the cooldowns. There we go. Again, sorry about that healing spam. It was from the Brewmaster, the Mistweaver. And there you go. There you nicely appear on the damage meter. All good shit. All good shit. Now, this is my major fuck up on this fight. What is my objectives in this fight? Always ask yourself that. What are my objectives in this fight? What's important to me? My basic objective is not to blow anybody up, get the lightning bolts out of the raid. And other than that, I want to be in the pools as much as humanly possible. That's it. And major DPS needs to be done in the pools. That's my objective for this fight. Not do anything stupid, blow anybody up, and be in the pools as much as humanly possible. This all comes down to position. All comes down to position. And I majorly screw it up. Majorly screw it up. As far as I'm concerned, anyway, I majorly screw it up. So here's Lightning Storm. We have a decision to make here. We have a decision to make. Where would you move? Where would you move? Here's Lightning Storm. I'm in the middle. Not the best place to be by any means. But where would you move right now? What is the best place for me to go? Let's go north, east, west. North, east, west. Stack on the tank. To the boss. Left side. Straight through the boss. Gilesso is correct. And, well, in fact, as some of you said, to the boss is where you want to go. Absolutely. Now, I didn't do this. And this leads me to a major problem. Do you know why this is the best place to be? Can anybody tell me? Why is it to the boss? Why is it to the boss? North is the answer. Why to the boss? Yes, as Dr. Sinner says, the next pool can spawn in 3 possible positions. It can spawn north, east, or west. The worst places you can go are east or west, because if you go east and it spawns west, that's a pain in the ass. If you go on west and has to go east, that's a pain in the ass. You want to either go to the middle or to the north. Anywhere around here is fine, because if it spawns in any of the 3 locations, it's the least possible movement time. I didn't. I went straight over this way. Found my little position here. Should have refreshed Shadow Word Pain there inside the pool, like a dolt. I should have done that. And now I'm looking around. You can see my camera spinning. Constantly spinning. Looking for where the fuck is the next pool going to spawn. Here's Thundering Throw. And I'm trying to position myself in a way. Remember, your camera is so important. You can see I'm spinning the camera like an absolute lunatic. All the time trying to move to a better position because I fucked up at the beginning. I totally fucked up. But it's not easy to move as a Shadow Priest. It's really not easy to move. So I'm looking away. I got Focus Lightning here, which was okay. Dragged it out of the raid. Now I'm missing some pool time, but I'm fine with that. Left it over there. Cool. Saving Devouring Blade till I got back in there. Now, no big deal, you might think. That worked out okay for me. I was totally lucky. Totally lucky. 100% lucky that the pool spawned there. It could have been much worse. And it does get much worse. Yay. Which is awesome. Now, this is the situation I ended up in. This is the situation. There are two possible spawn points for the pool. Here and here. If it's there, it's going to be really bad for me. Really, really bad for me, okay? Yeah, blow by... Exactly, Rockshot Baller spotted it. I blew my cooldowns as we were going into the pool. Got Focus Lightning. Yeah, but that what happens. That's no big deal. There's nothing much we can do about that. RNG is RNGesus. Not much we can do about RNGesus if he wants to bless us. And so I'm in this position now. And I'm kind of stuck now with what I want to do. I want to move. I want to move, and I'm looking around. And I kind of think, please land here. But now there's a fisher there. It's not going to happen. So I kind of stand here, but I know... Uh-oh. Oh, man. This is grim. This is an absolute massive position fail by me. Position, 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 position. I will tell you now, I will never make this mistake again. But it's clear that I make this mistake. Position, position, position. There it is. Blink. Yeah, where's my blink at? Where's my fucking blink at? Yeah, I lose outrageous DPS time now. And not only that, I lose outrageous DPS time from buffed damage. Buffed damage. I'm losing not only DPS time normally, but also buffed damage. And it's pretty fucking annoying. I wouldn't say that the boss facing you is that way. It was only just spawned. Literally just spawned. The tank could have been facing it anywhere. And then luckily I did some Shadow Word Deaths as I went through. My movement wasn't terrible, but still overall a huge loss. A huge entire loss. Cost me many, many fucking problems. Many, many fucking problems. It was absolutely retarded. Shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that. And it's a really terrible idea is that you need to think about these things. I feel bad for this. Is that a hunter? Is it green or white? I think it's white. I think it's a priest. I think it's our friendly neighborhood priest. I don't think we... No, actually we haven't got another priest unless it's him. He's staying. I'm not going in. Oh, here's a hunter. Yeah, it's Hoob. Hoob's not going nowhere for no man. Doesn't give a shit. Don't care about buff damage. Fuck you and your LFR. Not asked. Not fucking asked. Position. Those are really terrible position things by me. Awful things, and all things I would take note of from today. Not things I will face again, because I've learnt my lesson. But only by watching it back could I see, oh, well, I should have done that, I should have done this. In the fight, you can pick up a lot of these things. You can actually learn them while you're doing the fight. But it's good to record yourself and look back. And pick up on the minor things as well as the big things. Huge things. Position. Minor thing. Maybe wait till I'm definitely in the pool before blowing a cooldown, not just assume everything's going to be fine. That kind of thing. It's all very, very important. But again, in each fight, something pretty major. Not in every fight. I recorded 7 fights. The others were blatantly about as perfect as I could have done them without being stupidly picky about trinket procs maybe, or something like that. But overall, these were the ones where I made major problems. And I still do them. But I will never do them again. As you can imagine, I'll never do them again. And it's all good. Do we have any questions about today? Why am I playing Shadow at the minute? I'm just very much enjoying it. Very much enjoying it. I hope that shows you that it's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn from them. It's fine. It's no problem. Don't make them again. I never will. Those kind of things are just going to be fixed next time. It's going to be no big deal at all. But it's always worth doing it. Okay? It's always worth doing it. Have I done the third wing of Trial of Throne of Thunder? Yes, I have. It was very easy. I had no problem with it. I thought it was very, very easy. Did you survive the first fail snail? Yeah, it's not hard to avoid a snail. As much as a lot of people die to the snail, it's still a snail, and by proxy, it moves very slowly. It's not actually difficult to avoid it. The best DPS bet right now for druids is balance, as far as I'm aware. It's balance. Is it close to Affliction? No. No, it's not. I can't answer that either way. Affliction is still dominating, but I think Affliction is due for another smack in the face. Warrior on the snail equals death. Be brave, Lambretta. Stay hunter. Stay hunter. Any questions about the actual workshop? I guess not. Okay. Alright, well, I'll tell you what I'll do then. Nobody's really got any questions about the workshop. So I'm going to end the workshop, but I'll come back for a few minutes and have a little chat. Alright, guys. Thank you for tuning in for the workshop. If you wish to submit a workshop, I still have all your ones from players. I just wanted to show you, for those of you who don't want to submit a workshop for whatever reason, how to workshop yourself and watch yourself back, is you email me at workshop@preachgaming.com. Please upload it to YouTube. Do not send me the video file. I'm not very into downloading things off the internet that I'm not sure where they're from, especially when they're in gigabyte format. But thank you anyway, and goodbye.